All right, so here we're going to look at this question. So the question that I have here is, if C is equal to a matrix of 1, 2, 8, find minus 2C. So what you are going to do here basically is to use this minus 2 to multiply all the elements of the matrix C. All right, so we are given that C is equal to a matrix of 1, 2, and what? 8. So we're asked to find minus 2C. So my minus 2C will be equal to minus 2, open bracket. My C is what? 1, 2, and what? 8. So I would use this minus 2 to multiply all the elements within this matrix. So minus 2 times 1 will give me what? Minus 2. Minus 2 times 2 will give me what? Minus 4. Minus 2 times 8 will give me what? Minus 16. All right, this is my answer to this question. It's very simple and straightforward. All right, so again, basically what you do here is to use this minus 2 to multiply all the elements in the matrix C. All right, so let's look at this question. This is a JAMB question, it's a UTME question from the year 2001, question 20. So the question is, if P is equal to this matrix, a matrix of 3, 5, 7, minus 2, 0, 5, 4, 6, and minus 1, find minus 2P. All right. So the first thing I would want to do here is that we're given that P is equal to a matrix of 3, 5, 7, minus 2, 0, 5, 4, 6, minus 1. All right. So we're asked to find minus 2P. So my minus 2P will be equal to minus 2, open bracket. I will write the elements of P here. So we have 3, 5, 7, minus 2, 0, 5. We have 4, 6, minus 1. All right. So I would use this minus 2 to multiply all the elements within this matrix. All right. So minus 2 times 3 will give me what? Minus 2 times 3 will give me minus 6. Minus 2 times 5 will give me minus 10. Minus 2 times 7 will give me minus 14. All right. Minus 2 times minus 2. Minus times minus will give me what? Plus. So minus 2 times minus 2 will give me plus 4. So that's 4. All right. Minus 2 times 0 will give me what? 0. Anything multiplied by 0 is 0. Minus 2 times 5 will give me what? Minus 10. All right. Minus 2 times 4 will give me minus 8. Minus 2 times 6 will give me minus 12. Minus 2 times minus 1. Minus times minus will give me plus. So minus 2 times minus 1 will give me what? Plus 2. So we have 2. So this is the answer to this matrix. All right. This is the answer to this matrix. It's very simple and straightforward. So you should know that scalar multiplication of matrix is multiplication of a matrix by a single number. So here we are multiplying this matrix by a single number, which is minus 2. All right. Here we multiplied it by what? 4. Here we are multiplying it by minus 2. All right. So it's very simple and straightforward. All right.